Hi, Assalamualaikum. I am Siti Ardini and I'm gonna blow your mind. So before we get into this, maybe some of you might know my tricks from Instagram, from TikTok, from any other platform, right? Okay, so here I am. I'm gonna do a my tricks with you guys. So let's get started. First thing I want to start with picking a number. So here I have a number from 1 to 10, as you can see. So I'm gonna give you a few moments to pick from 1 to 10, okay? Pick any number. So once you've got that number, I want you to take that number and then multiply with 2. Okay? So once you have multiplied with number 2, I want you to add with number 8. Okay? Number 8. The next one, I want you to divide with 2. Divide that number with 2. Okay? Once you've done all those steps, I want you to take that number, that new number, I want you to minus with the original number. Alright, next step, you're gonna find that number on this little chart that I created, and you're gonna see which letter corresponds with your number. Okay? So from 1 to A to Z, you see, right? And once you found that letter, I'm gonna give you a few moments because I want to have you think of any state in Malaysia that begins with that letter. Alright, so once you got that state in Malaysia, I want you to take that last letter of that state in Malaysia and then think of any animal species that starts with that letter. Now you got the animal species in your mind, so I want you to take that last letter of the animal species and then I want you to come up with any color that start with that letter. Once you've got all those things, okay, the state of Malaysia, animal species and color, I'm gonna read your mind. I'm gonna read your mind. So you're probably thinking of state in Malaysia. Start with state in Malaysia. Melaka. Melaka, am I right? State in Malaysia. And then animal species, you might think of ant. And then color, turquoise. It could be any other color, but turquoise. Okay, any color start with T. So you're probably wondering how I read your mind, right? Okay, so here is the clue is actually I limited your option by picking a number from 1 to 10, right? Okay, I don't know if you got or not, but that's what I had you do. I had you do with all this random math, you know. But was it really random? No, because it was all leading up to this subtraction. Okay, the subtraction of the new number with the original number, and then the subtraction will give you 4, right? With any number, I mean any number. So once you look at all these little numbers on here, right, and the letter I wrote them to trick you, you would see M falls under 4, right? So that leaves you thinking of a state in Malaysia that start with M. So there's only one state in Malaysia, as we know in Malaysia, that start with M, which is Melaka, right? So you would think of Melaka. Melaka would be the one that start with M. So yeah, Melaka. And then I asked you to take that last letter of that state in Malaysia, which is Melaka. Take the last letter and then think of any animal species that start with that letter. So Melaka, the last letter of Melaka is A, obviously. So we might think of any animal species that start with A. You might think of animal species N. It could be N or alligator or any other animal species that start with A, right? And then lastly, I asked you to think of any color that come up to your mind that start with the last letter of animal species, which is T. N last letter is T. So T, you might think of any color that start with T. Turquoise is the only color I can think of. It can be Crayola colors, but I would think of turquoise. I'll just pick turquoise instead. So last, you thought of Melaka and turquoise. Isn't it an interesting trick, right? You could play with this trick on anyone. It is much more effective. It is in a group setting, so because people might be able to catch on, you know, and there's just a factor of your influence in there, and it's just not the same, you know, from one-to-one scenario, you know. So this trick is very effective because it bends your perception of things and it gets you to think a certain way, and it's fun to do as it's sort of entertainment to play with your friends. I encourage you to pull out this trick. You can just search on the internet, search a number mind tricks, and then you can play the tricks on your friends, your family, and then see how they react. So I think that is it. That is it for my demonstrative speech. thank you for listening, and I hope you enjoy the tricks that I demonstrating. Yeah, thank you so much. Bye.